After searching for many months, I think we have finally found the donor car for our Ek1 to start our own build. To give you guys a backstory of this car, basically this is a 1996 Ek4 that's been wrecked or hit right on the driver's side chassis. I bought this back in 25th of March. It basically, as you can see, I've gotten most of the main parts out. It's basically a rolling shell, unregistered. Still got the bumper and everything on it. I've done some work on this for the past couple of months now. I've basically been stripping down everything from the interior to the headliner, all gone, and I'm just waiting on someone to buy it off me. Now you guys might be wondering why I bought this wrecked car. Well, these cars are getting rarer and rarer every day, and most of them are just parked inside a garage, just sitting there collecting dust. Well, I'll show you why I bought this. If you guys don't know what this is basically a B16 A2 motor. If you guys live here in Perth, Western Australia, you already know how hard these engines are to get. You can't even find them in the wreckers. You have to go through a couple of companies in the eastern states to get one of these, and they are going for a lot of money. This engine has 200,000 kilometers on it. It basically came with the S4C non-LSD gearbox. I've got the full exhaust system, and I've got the shift linkage just over there. I also have most of the engine mounts, like the T-bracket, the post mount right there, torque mounts, and all of the engine mounts and idler pulleys and all that. It also came with the engine harness and all of the Dizzy and ECU in that box. Forgot to mention that it also came with all the CV axles, the clutch and the mid shaft somewhere down there. I've already started to collect most of the parts I need to basically refresh that. So I've got all the rear main, front and cam seals to go on this engine. I've ordered the Rokokov gasket, all the VTEC solenoid, O-rings, thermostat, and the O-ring that goes for the distributor. For this engine, there's a lot of cleaning up and a lot of degreasing to do. That's the rear main. It's basically chockers with oil and debris in there. As you can see, nice and oily. When I first had a look at this engine, there's a couple of things that caught my eye inspecting it in a way. One of them being the crank gear. Basically, there is a groove mark here in the keyway, and also in the key itself. I went to a couple of machine shops and asked them for opinion if I still should run the crank gear in the key. They said that I can still run it like this because it hasn't damaged it enough for it to flog out basically. And also the actual keyway itself, on the actual crank, there's a little bit of wear in one of the sides. I don't think the previous owner had tightened the actual bolt itself enough. That's why I think it moved around in here and caused the wear. Or maybe they haven't tightened down the tensioner enough, causing that crank gear to move around in the keyway. So we'll just try and file it down and see what happens. So I'm just going to take my file, put it on the flat edge and just go nice and slow into that keyway. Before, I couldn't even get this in there, like I couldn't even slide it in. So they actually made it better. So I'm using 1200 grit just to lightly sand down the edges. Crank. Nice smooth. Also a bit of water on that. As you can see, she goes in nicely. There's also a couple of damages. I think the timing belt was walking, hitting on the plastic here and on the upper cover as well. So I don't think we'll reuse this and maybe just run this and the backing plate. So we'll see what happens.